Hello friends, welcome to Annamalayar IAS. So the exam is getting near, your preliminary examination, and I hope you people are doing well. Please do revise all the subjects at least for 2 to 3 times up to now whatever you people have covered. So that is my humble suggestion, and please concentrate, give utmost importance to conventional, because which gives you around 70% of the marks in paper 1, which has been insisted in almost all the papers that has been following from 2016 onwards. UPSC is giving utmost importance to conventionals, because in this scenario, at present scenario, there are lot of current affairs notes you would be getting through online, right? That is monthly magazines, it might be day to day current affairs notes, it might be, right? So you would be in a position to answer more number of questions in your current affairs. So that is why UPSC would like to concentrate much on your conventional area. So let's get into the multiple choice questions. So with respect to today's session, we would be focusing on facts about India, right? This is very important, especially one or two questions arise from the fact area, which is very basic in nature, right? So that is why I have made a video on this session, that is facts of India. So let's get into the questions directly. First question: why was joint sector mooted in India? Mooted means, so you have to understand what is meant by mooted. Mooted means, so giving utmost importance or raising the aspect with respect to the present level, right? Promoting. Mooting is nothing but promoting, right? Why was joint sector mooted in India? So the options are: option number A, for mobilizing initiative resources; B, because the government was unable to handle; C, because the private entrepreneurs were exploiting consumers; D, none of these, right? Again, studying this is the basic question with respect to your prelim, that is your economics, right? So where this area is seen from your planning, that is liberalization, privatization. So that has been the aspect. And whenever we talk about this question, the right answer is option A, that is joint sector was mooted or promoted in order to mobilize initiative resource. So initiating the resources, that is why joint sector was promoted by Government of India, right? So please remember this. So again, this can be your conventional question. Please go through standard books such as Dattan Sundaram for Indian economy, that would give utmost clarity for you people in basic questions. Next question: who got the temple at Khajuraho built? Right? Who got the temple at Khajuraho built? So this is the question, right? So the options are Rajputs of Chittor, Chalukyas of Badami, Chandelas of Bundelkhand, Chauhans of Ajmer, right? So again, you people have studied about the architecture and other aspect with respect to this temple, that is Khajuraho temple. I am not going to deal with this at this particular period of time, right? So let's get into the answer, that is option C, that is Chandelas. Here the answer is marked wrongly. The right answer is Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Please make some correction with respect to this question, right? So the Chandelas time period is around 900 to 1130 AD. So that is one among the thing you people have to remember, right? So please, it is my humble request, make some corrections in this question. So let's move on to the next question. Again, this is very beautiful question, which can be part of your preliminary question, right? So which of the following is not a peat of one of the four Shankaracharyas in India, right? So that has been the question. One of the four peats that has been set up by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya is is the first social reformer. That's what we can say with respect to that is Hinduism. He was the first social reformer, and who played very important role with respect to that is spreading of Hinduism, giving clarity in Hinduism, right? So that is what about Shankaracharya, that is Adi Shankara. His philosophy was Dvaita. He was born in 788 AD in Kaladi district in Kerala. So that is one among the thing you have to remember, right? Again, it is very factual. Now let's get into the question, right? So Adi Shankaracharya set up four peats in that is every corner of India, that is north, south, east, west, right? So the north corner he set a peat at Badri in the Badrinath in the north, right? So that is one thing. And with respect to that is west, he set up that is peat at Dwarka Sharda peat. So that is in the west in Gujarat. And he set up that is Govardhan peat, that is Puri, right? Eastern corner of India, right? Govardhan peat in Puri. And he also set up Sringeri peat in that is Sringeri, that is in Karnataka, Chikmagalur district, Karnataka. And Sringeri peat was the first peat that has been set up by Adi Shankaracharya, right? So that is the thing. And with respect to this question, the right answer is, which one of the following peat is not started by Shankaracharya? So option A is the right answer, that is Kanchi Kamakoti, right? So Kanchi Kamakoti peat is a Upa peat. Kanchi Kamakoti as well as Kashi, both are Upa peat. So that is not the peat that has been set up by Adi Shankaracharya. That is the Upa peat where Adi Shankaracharya prayed. So that is the thing that has to be remembered, right? So let's move on to the next question. Again, this is very direct question. Kuchipudi dance originated from, right? The options are Punjab, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. So I don't want to explain this question because you people can get the elaboration from our that is art and culture video. The answer is Andhra Pradesh. So option C is the right answer with respect to this question. So let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. What is the significance of Ajanta caves? The options are: these are fine specimen of Greek architecture in India. B. These are well known for admirable ancient rock cut temples with fresco paintings. Yes, this is right. So third one, this signifies the importance of secularism. Next, these are well known for highest statue of Lord Buddha in the world. So the most appropriate answer would be option B, that is, these are well known for admirable ancient rock cut temples with fresco painting. Whenever we talk about option C, there is a tendency that students jump into even option C also, because whenever we talk about this Ajanta cave, so there you would be able to see the sculpture of Hindu goddesses as well as Buddhism as well as Jainism. So and even Yaksha Yakshini. So that is the problem with respect to this. But most appropriate answer with respect to this question is option B, right? So let's move on to the next one. Again, this is very simple question, but you have to answer it. Which one of the following states has no sea opening? Right? Again, it is very simple question at this level especially. Right? So the options are Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. So let's directly get into the answer. That is option C, Bihar. Bihar has no sea opening. Right? So let's move on to the next question. Again, this is very important with respect to your geography. These sort of questions has been present in your preliminary examination paper, right, from past 3 to 4 years. Please focus on these sort of one-liner questions, right. Dadra and Nagar Haveli is situated in the vicinity of option A, Gujarat, B, Rajasthan, C, Maharashtra and D, Karnataka, right. So the right answer with respect to this question is option A, that is Gujarat, right. So people get confused with Gujarat or Maharashtra. The right answer is option A, Gujarat, right. So let's move on to the next question, right. Which one of the following states came into existence on May 1st, 1960, right? May 1st, 1960. So it has been 60 years from the formation of these states. That is why this question becomes important for your preliminary. So this is May month and 2020, right? So it is 60th year with respect to the starting of this state, right? So the options are Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra as well as Karnataka, right. Maharashtra, Karnataka are the options. So the right answer is that is C, option C, Maharashtra. Maharashtra got its statehood on 1st May 1960, and whenever we talk about the statehood of Madhya Pradesh, it was on 1st November 1956, that is much earlier to Maharashtra, right. So that is 1st November 1956, and the state of Karnataka, which was also on the same date, that is 1st November 1956, right. So on this day in the state of Karnataka, they celebrate Kannada Rajyotsava, right. So next one, that is next option, Karnataka we have explained. Andhra Pradesh, with respect to Andhra Pradesh, so it was the first state to get statehood, right. It was on 1st October 1953. Andhra Pradesh was carved out from Madras province, that is the state of Madras, where around 11 Telugu speaking districts were carved into Andhra Pradesh. So that was the thing, and Kurnool was its capital. So that is one among the thing. Please try to remember. Right, again this is very factual question. Again it can be your potential question for preliminary examination. So that is why I am concentrating on some facts also. So let's move on to the next question. Again this is very beautiful question. This can be expected for your geography. Punjab has 97% irrigated agricultural land. Which one of the following states has a second position in this respect, right? Which one of the following state has second position in this respect? The options are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal and Haryana, right? So that has been the option, right? The Punjab has 97.03% irrigated land. That is with respect to Punjab, and with respect to other options, that is UP, you would get to see around 80.3% of irrigated land, and with respect to Bihar, you would be able to see around 57% of the land that is under irrigation. And with respect to West Bengal, you have around 35% of the land that is irrigated, and Haryana, that covers around 82.3% land that is under irrigation, right? So the right answer with respect to this is option D, Haryana, where it covers around 82% under irrigation, under net irrigation, right? So with respect to Uttar Pradesh, it covers around 80%, right? And West Bengal, it covers around 35%. So that is why I have tried to explain almost all the states with respect to the given option in the question. So let's move on to the next one. Right, again this is very beautiful question. This can be asked in your preliminary examination, right? Forest covers more than 40% of this state's area, 75% of which is again mountainous. About 45% of its population is below poverty line, and most of the population is ethnic tribal. This state is, right? So here certain characters has been given with respect to a particular state, and we have to find which state is that, right? So that is, first thing is 40%, around 40% of the state is covered by forest. Second thing is about 75% of the state is covered by mountain. So that is also another thing. And around 45% of the people are below poverty line who are ethnic. So that is one among the thing. Ethnical tribe. So that is one among the thing. Then we have to answer which state is that, right? The options are: option A, Madhya Pradesh; B, Orissa, Odisha; C, Bihar; D, Himachal Pradesh, right? So you would be able to see lot of mountains in Himachal Pradesh. So that is one among the thing, even with respect to Madhya Pradesh as well as Orissa, right? So at the same time you would be able to see majority of the population in Himachal Pradesh as well as Madhya Pradesh, that covers considerable amount of ethnic population, right? So again, whenever we talk about poverty, again there are different aspects that has to be dealt with, right? So that is why this question involves 3 questions within it. So the right answer with respect to this question is option B, that is Orissa, right? I hope you people have enjoyed these sort of questions, right? The questions that I have picked, and make sure that even facts becomes very important for your preliminary examination, because always 2 to 3 questions can be asked, can be covered from this area, where people don't attend these sort of questions. So that is the basic problem. Most of the candidates think that fact is not at all important for your preliminary examination. You need not mug up any fact, but these are certain facts that are very fundamental in nature. That is why I have taken all sort of questions such covers the, that is the primary aspect with respect to the fundamentals, right? I hope you people have enjoyed this session, right? And we are also planning to conduct, that is, test batches for UPSC aspirants. Please write to us in the given mail ID if there is any query, that is annamalayarias@gmail.com, and you people also can contact through phone. So the phone number has been given, right? And please do subscribe my channel, which supports me to make more such videos that would help you people for clearing your examination. And do hit the bell button so that you people get the notification then and there itself. Thank you.